keys are here. I went and got myself a new little toy. I got a little bit tired of paying for gas these days. So I bought myself a Ariel Rider electric moped. This is the X Class 52 volt step-through model. And I believe that I am one of the first wave of people to get the step-through model. It is the one that looks like a little bit more like a moped and less like a motorcycle. All right, so let's open this box, see what we got. Looks like we kind of got a box inside of a box. All right, let's see if I can get this out of here. This isn't the way you want to do this if you plan on keeping the box for value or anything like that. So I'm fine with just getting this box out of here. Basically a box within a box. Get it out of here without stepping on something and puncturing my foot. That wouldn't be a fun day, would it? I wonder how fun it is to watch me struggle with this. I do have to say this thing is well packaged. It traveled overseas, so. Oh, boom, there it is. So we got a bunch of zip ties to take care of. Use some diagonal cutters. This front wheel freed up. That is much lighter than I expected it to be. Some more zip ties. And there's some little caps on here to protect the axle. So I'm just gonna leave those on there till I need to actually mount this. That way I can set it on its side and not damage anything. All right, foam. I guess I'll start at the back. That doesn't touch anything. Cut some of these. There's a box of goodies right there. These are Victor diagonal cutters, in case anybody was wondering. It's a sub-brand of Fujiya, which is a Japanese hand tool company. It's like handlebars banged around a little bit. It's got Shimano Altus rear derailleur. I don't know, honestly, what level that is with Shimano because I've been out of bikes for so long. I imagine it's not all that high. More zip ties. That's a lot of zip ties. I wish I could like save these somehow. But it wouldn't be so fun to open it, would it? I mean, this couldn't go right the whole time. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but the #1 rule of knife safety is always cut towards your coworkers. That's a little joke. Don't cut towards your coworkers. All right. Well, that's basically completely unboxed. Looks like we've got some kind of a plastic guy that's holding the fork, or at least protecting it from getting damaged in shipping. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and mount the handlebars. But before that, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a board and I'm going to put it underneath this thing, and I'm just going to zap it down. All right, I've got my Makita piece of wood. Let's slide that right under there. Watch, in 50 years, this little piece of plastic is gonna be worth a ton of money because everybody just trashed it. Be like, do you have the little piece of plastic for the fork? No, man. All right, so I'm just screwing that down to that. Get a couple more screws in here, hoping this will hold this thing up. I do not have any kind of bike stand. Kind of wanting to hold it up. Let's get this one in there. Maybe that'll be enough. There we go. All held up. So yeah, now I'm gonna take a second and clean up some of this crap. So I guess I should address this piece of wood that I attached to this. I did that because I'm doing this alone. You would not need to do this if you had a helper or a bike stand. Yeah, I did that. I figured it would help. It is helping me because once I get the handlebars on, I think the next step is to mount the front wheel. And then once I do that, I believe the kickstand will hold the bike up. But until then, I need basically, the bike to stand up straight. So the first thing I'm gonna do is loosen these bolts on the stem so that I can mount this handlebar up. And this comes off with, I believe it's a 6mm Allen. I do this, so in one of those boxes is a toolkit, and it does have a little cross thing. I'll do an unboxing of those boxes. So I think one's the headlight, the other is probably the instructions and the toolkit. All right, so I gotta guys on here. You want to line that up so that yeah, that's not gonna work. I gotta take that thing off completely. Should have known better. These bolts do have a little Loctite on them. And that's why I'm having to use the ratchet so much. Otherwise I would have just used my fingers, but that was just a little bit too difficult. Alright, so you put this guy on there. All these bolts in. And then I'll just kind of set it up with the handlebars in that position. I'll adjust it for my own comfort later. And if you don't know how to do that, all you do is you loosen these bolts and then move it forward or backwards. Although I would make sure that you give them a good loosen because there's teeth right here. And you want those to stay nice and sharp so that they bite, because you don't want this moving on you when you're riding. And that's probably why there was Loctite in there. But also, you don't want that stuff coming off when you're shipping this thing overseas. So, tightening them in kind of a star pattern as much as I can, because you want it to go down nice and even. You don't want one side to get too far ahead of the other one. But also I want it to sort of have like just a tight amount of tension so I can stop holding onto these things. Center to me. So I'm just moving around, making sure I'm not tightening one spot too much. If you have the hand tool, you can kind of like feel it to where it starts, you know, giving it a little bit more back pressure, but I'm very wisely using this giant ratchet, so I don't have a whole lot of feeling. I can tell it's getting tight now. So I guess the next thing is I've got to undo these. So I will grab some tools for that and be right back. I'm back with 15 mil wrench and socket. I'll get this undone. Probably don't even need the ratchet on there. Those are kind of loose. That's see if that'll come off there now. There we go. Yeah, that's not coming. Hey, look at that. Stands up. Okay, so now we got to put the wheel on, and imagining it has its nuts. Make sure there's nothing in the way. Got a little piece here for the disc brake. Get that out of there. Grab the front wheel. Take these guys off. I'll loosen up the nuts. realize that I've never messed with motorcycle style forks before. So that's making this a little complicated. I guess I didn't realize these spun. So I get one in there, the other one's not quite right. There we go. I'm gonna move back that way a little bit. Back to a 15 mil socket. That seems to be on there now. Okay. Now the kickstand should work. And it should stand on its own. And voila. So now is a good time as any, probably, to check out what's in these boxes. So we got the headlight. So that's the new one. It's got the kind of halo type of deals on it. Cool. I got the other box. What do we got in here? So we got a set of Welgo platform pedals, a little thing of black touch-up paint. Guessing this is the charger. That's the cord. It's the charger. It says Ariel Rider on it. Put that with that. Got a manual. We got extra screws. So this is backup stuff in case you rattle some of your stuff off. That looks like some wire sheath. Hold some wires together. Probably to hold the headlight on it, headlight wires. And we've got a little toolkit. I guess let's take a look at that. So we got a little T-handled Allen. It's got 5, 4, and probably 6 on it. Might have maybe just 4 or 5. All right, so we got a little wrench set. So we got 22, 19, 13, 15, 14, 12, 10, and 8. So far, I've only found 15, so I'm not sure what the rest of that's for. I imagine that when you work on the bike, you'll run into that stuff. And I got 3 just sort of regular Allen wrenches, and then a flip screwdriver guy. So that's that. Oh yeah, and then a big boy. All right, so that's the toolkit. That's everything that's in those boxes. I think the first thing I'm gonna do is tackle that headlight. The headlight bolts are on the headlight itself. So I'm gonna take those out real quick. Apologize, I don't really want my face to be in this video very much because my beard is like absolutely out of control right now. I need to cut it because it's getting hot. All right, so get these guys in here. I imagine this is completely adjustable. So you can adjust if you want it pointing down the road in front of you, if you want it kind of just pointed straight ahead. I'm just going to set it up how it is and kind of deal with that later. Right, headlights mounted. Let's connect the wire. And that's just this little connector. You'll line up the little tooth with the other one. It should snap right in there. Snaps right on. All right, now we gotta do this fender. Front fender, bolts, same deal. Bolt is in there. It looks like it's an Allen in the front and then an 8mm in the back. So in case you're wondering, it's one of these, so you need an 8mm wrench or socket. And then that's just the Allen bolt. So you just put it up there with these tabs on either side of the fork. Probably should put that stuff down so I could use my hands a little bit more. All right. All right, so that's the fender. That's all mounted up. Let's get to these pedals. You might notice that the pedals are labeled left and right. There's a green one that's left, a red one that's right. And left is gonna be, if you're on the bike facing forward, it's gonna be your left foot. So this one, left one goes on there, and it is reverse threaded, so you're gonna wanna turn it lefty-loosey, but that's actually gonna get it tighter. And that's just because when you pedal, they don't want the pedal to come undone. So your pedaling will, the way the pedal is spinning will actually cause it to tighten, if anything. And you can continue tightening that with a 15mm wrench. All right, let me jump up, go on the other side. All right, so I think that completes the building of the bike. It is all together. I think the next things that I need to do is read the instructions, see what I gotta do about the battery, and then pump up these tires, which I think everybody can figure that out. I'm not gonna do that on camera because it's gonna be loud. So I'm gonna give it a little sit, see how it feels. Maybe comment about that a little bit. Yeah, I'm not sure that the seat to pedal is gonna be very, like, I'm not gonna be able to put a lot of power down. So my guess is I'm gonna wind up riding this thing a lot more with the throttle that's right there than pedaling. There's a way I can raise the seat up just a slight amount. I know that there's some custom seats that you can get that are a bit thicker, and that might help. But we'll see. I mean, I'm gonna ride around on it sort of just like this and see how I feel about it. But other than that, it's comfortable. I was a little bit worried that because this is kind of a one-size-fits-all bike, that it was gonna feel a little small, but I don't feel that way at all. I feel like it's a real good upright, like for a commuter like position, which is what I'm gonna be using it for. So yeah, I like it. It's pretty cool.